Hey, oh hey, hey, come on, ayo, Kim.
Hip-hop basement.
Wow, फेरि आयो.
This is for
Yo, the basement is reloaded, refilled with Nepali hip-hop R&B music every Sunday 3 to 4 p.m. Get ready for the hip-hop ride on Times FM 90.6. Hip-hop basement. Hip-hop don't stop.
Hello, namaste, and yes, of course, a very warm good afternoon to everyone who is tuning to Times FM 90.6 right now. Sunday रहेको छ र Sunday चाहिँ 3 बजेदेखि 4 बजेसम्म आउने गर्दछ Hip Hop Basement र मैले पहिला पनि भन्दै आइराको हो र अहिले पनि भन्छु. अब आज चाहिँ हुन्छ नि तपाईले सुनिराख्नु भएको छ भने you will understand Hip Hop Basement is going international. So आज चाहिँ म बाहिर छुइन, स्टुडियो भित्र नै छु. स्टुडियो भित्र चाहिँ बाहिरबाट साथी आउनु भएको छ. He is known as Hip Hop Ambassador, Global Hip Hop Ambassador. And yes, मेरो Facebook अथवा Hip Hop Basement के पेज चाहिँ तपाईले चेक गरिराख्नु भएको छ भने चाहिँ तपाईलाई थाहा भइसक्नु पर्ने को हुनुहुन्छ आज गेस्ट भनेर. सो उहाँलाई कम्पनी दिनको लागि उहाँलाई यहाँ नेपालमा लिएर आउने व्यक्ति पनि हुनुहुन्छ. सो सस्पेन्स धेरै भयो जस्तो लाग्यो. So yes, I'm talking about Ian Levia. Ian, welcome to Hip Hop Basement.
Wow, thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here.
And yes, Anup Saxena, Group of Event Entertainers का CEO हुनुहुन्छ. पहिला पनि Hip Hop Basement मा आइसक्नु भयो. So आज चाहिँ it's like wrap up show जस्तै हुन्छ Hip Hop Championship को. So yes, फेरि एकचोटि welcome to Hip Hop Basement.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay, भन्नुस्.
अब जी भन्नाले पनि like Hip Hop International नेपाल भनेर जान्दा किन like हाम्रो the program पनि Hip Hop Basement भएको र Hip Hop International नेपाल भन्दाखेरि बेटर होला के भन्ने.
Okay, ल ठिकै छ. Hip Hop International and Hip Hop International Nepal both are on Hip Hop Basement. So hip hop. So yes, I'll start with Ian. How's your Nepal stay?
The stay here has been amazing. As always, I did not know what to expect in coming here in the first place. But when I got here, just like the climate, the people are also very, very warm.
Okay.
So it was a very unique experience for me, one that I will always remember. I have a lot of stories to take back home.
Okay, so can you share any one story?
The first story was about the food.
Okay, yeah. On the press meet, he talked about the chicken curry.
Yes.
So any other curries you tasted?
Well, you know, I am eating so many different types of food and they all taste so good, but I'm not sure of the names. But this is what stood out to me the most, because the first time when I arrived, just coming off the plane, I met with Anup and then we had lunch. And the lunch was the first time that I was experiencing all of the different dishes. I don't know their names, but they all taste good.
Okay, come on. Anupji is here to tell the names of the dishes. So, Anupji, के dish से test गराउनु भयो मलाई?
अब हाम्रो main नेपाली खानामा चाहिँ अब यो थकाली खाना भनौँ न.
हजुर.
साग हैन तपाईको अनि कौली र आलु, अचार दुईटा, अनि दही, अनि पछि यो दाल भयो. अनि यो सबै देख्दाखेरि अनि त्यो फेरि हामीहरुको त्यो भुजा हाल्दाखेरि चाहिँ अब अलि गोप्टा राखेको हुन्छ नि. अनि त्यो देख्नेबित्तिकै अनि पापड त्यसमाथि. So like he had different items there. So like, oh, let's try this. भनेर उहाँले लिनुभयो र खाइसक्दाखेरि चाहिँ with chicken curry he was having the like mix up with the rice and he loved it very well.
I did actually.
So you have tried the local Nepali food.
Yes.
Okay.
It's always important to me whenever I travel to a new country that I try the food that is indigenous to them. I always want to experience the culture, and the food was just amazing.
Okay, let's get back to the main business now. Yesterday was the main event. So how was it?
Yes, yesterday was the first time that Hip Hop International Nepal hosted its event. It was a huge experience for me because leading up to the event, we weren't sure if we will have the kind of turnout that we were hoping for from the dancers. Not knowing the community, not being aware of the culture so much in Nepal, I was uncertain. But to my surprise, it was an amazing turnout. All of the B-boys especially, you have a huge breaking community here in Nepal. And that really interests me because even around the world, we don't have so many breakers that would come out to our national events.
Okay.
So that was an eye-opener for me. Having seen all the other crews that were attending and then everybody that came out to support, it truly was an amazing experience for me.
Okay, Anupji, so तपाईँ basically चाहिँ तपाईँ पेजेन्ट Manhunt and Miss Tourism Nepal जस्तो पेजेन्टहरु चाहिँ होस्ट गर्नुहुन्छ हैन सो हाउ कम यु जम्प इन्टु डान्स त्यसमाथि पनि हिप हप डान्स कम्पिटिसन
यो चाहिँ तपाईको म्युजिक चाहिँ मेरो पहिलादेखि प्यासन पनि थियो अनि म डीजे पनि थिएँ सो लाइक म्युजिकले मलाई जहिले पनि टच गरेको थियो अनि मैले डान्सहरु गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ कस्तो भने आफै कोरियोग्राफ गर्नु खोज्थेँ सो लाइक अनि तर पनि मेरो कन्सेप्टमा मलाई बिल्ड अप भएको थिएन कि लाइक आई विल बी क्यारिङ लाइक आई विल बी डाइभर्टिङ माइ सेल्फ इन्टु लाइक कम्पिटिसन लाइक तर वान डे म मुभी हेर्नु गएको थिएँ बाबुहरूसँग त्यो मुभी हेर्दाखेरि चाहिँ मलाई के इन्सपायर गर्यो भने देयर इज नो प्लेटफर्म फर दि नेपाल सो आई थिङ्क आई सुड ग्र्याब द्याट अपर्च्युनिटी एन्ड गिभ द अपर्च्युनिटी टु आवर बोइज एन्ड गर्ल्स because like we b-boyings breakings like as Yansar mentioned sabai hamiसँग खुबी भएकोहरु क्याटेगोरीजको लाइक भनौं डान्सरहरु छ सो लाइक त्यो डान्सर मैले देखिरहेको थिएँ तर उनीहरुलाई प्लेटफर्म कसरी भन्ने कुरा मलाई थाहा थिएन तर त्यो एउटा एबीसीडी 2 ले चाहिँ मलाई कस्तो नि त्यो प्लेटफर्म देखाइदियो र जसले गर्दाखेरि मैले त्यो करस्पोन्ड स्टार्ट गरे सर र आज त्यो प्लेटफर्म मैले दिनु पाएको छु र एकदम खुसी पनि लागेको छ सो डाइभर्ट 81 भयो एक्चुअली भन्नु पर्दाखेरि मैले क्रेडिट चाहिँ मुभीलाई दिनै पर्ने हुन्छ र मैले बाबुहरुलाई सोधेको थिएँ बाबु ड्याडीले यो काम गर्ने कि नगर्ने भनेर सोधेको थिएँ सो बाबुहरुले चाहिँ गो हेड ड्याड भनेर भन्नेपछि अनि आई स्टार्टेड लाइक मुभी हेरेर आइसकिने बित्की चाहिँ लाइक आई स्टार्टेड रिसर्चिङ थ्रु गुगल अनि लाइक इट टुक मी लाइक 3 to 4 days and when I got the right thing and I started corresponding the emails and the company profiles that way like they said like okay you want to carry on and I'm connected to SSI now.
Okay, back to HHI. HHI has set the ground for the international dance competitions. It is also known as the Olympic of dance. So it took a lots of effort and of course Nepal is very new on this hip hop dance competition. So how did you think of giving a franchise to Anup Saxena?
One of the things about Hip Hop International is that we don't just provide an event. We provide an experience. And to provide that experience, we connect with people who have a dream, who have a vision, and who have a passion. We're not interested in connecting with people who just want to have an event because that's not what we're about. We're about really uplifting the hip-hop community and providing opportunities for the culture. And what is important to us is that the people who we connect with in various countries have that same vision, have that same drive, and have that same connection. So when we started communicating with Anup, we realized immediately it wasn't for him about just having an event. He also wanted to provide an experience and also opportunities for the people of Nepal. So right away we knew that he was the best person to make this connection with and definitely to give him the franchise because it's all about uniting, pulling together, but it's more importantly is that as we go through all of this we have the same vision and Anup definitely has the vision as HHI. So for us it was automatic.
Okay, back to Anupji. Hip Hop International like approach गर्ने भनेर चाहिँ कहिले सोच्नु भयो र कसरी you connected with them? Come on, Ian is very busy. अघि अफेयरमा कुरा गर्दा पनि like we talked outside there your half of the life is spent on the sky flying and on the hotel room.
Yes.
So yes, how did you connect with him?
Actually the HSA headquarter we connected through HSA headquarter. So like the founder and the group producer of HHI. He asked me like, do you want to have the institution or not?
Okay.
Because that was very important for Nepal. Because like without the knowledge, we cannot run the event. That is most important. So like when he mentioned me, like you should go doing like you should go with your workshop. Like institution knowledge should be shared. So त्यो पछि मैले चाहिँ के गरेँ भने तपाईको मैले चाहिँ ठ्याक्क टेक्निकल डाइरेक्टर चाहिँ हाम्रो यान भनिसकेपछि चाहिँ अनि उहाँसँग चाहिँ मेरो बिस्तारै अनि कोअर्डिनेसन सुरु भयो र कोअर्डिनेसन सुरु भइसकेपछि अनि ही विल बी लुकिङ आफ्टर अल दिस थिङ्स भनेर भनिसकेपछि चाहिँ अनि उहाँकोबाट चाहिँ हामीले कनेक्सन भयो भनौँ न यान सरसँग कनेक्सन भइसकेपछि यान सर चाहिँ नेपालमा आउने क्लियर भइसकेपछि चाहिँ लाइक द मेन पर्सन हु क्यान share the hip-hop cultures, the histories र बुस्ट गर्न सक्ने हाम्रो नेपाली कल्चर नबुझेको यो हिपहप कल्चरलाई नबुझेको कुरालाई चाहिँ उहाँले एक्सप्लेन गर्नुहुन्छ भनेर त्यो हिसाबले हेडक्वार्टरबाटै कनेक्सन भएर आएको हो तपाईको
Okay, Anupjile भन्नुभएको छ hip hop culture. We will definitely talk about hip hop culture with the global ambassador, hip hop ambassador Ian. But for now, you have watched, you have seen the hip hop culture of a different country, the whole Europe, and you said you'll visit Israel very soon, and almost every country. How many countries have you visited?
It's hard for me to know right now or to remember, but I would definitely say that I've been to every continent.
Okay, around 70% of the globe.
I would say that's a fair number.
Okay, 70% of the globe. Majati country or पर्छ सबै चाहिँ यहाँले visit गरिसक्नु भयो. So now you're in Nepal. Can you distinguish what is similar or what Nepal should do to boost its culture, hip hop culture?
One thing that is similar and that I've seen in almost all of the countries that I've visited is the passion. And there's no doubt that what I saw yesterday in terms of the approach that the dancers took to the dance, that they're very passionate about it. It doesn't matter to them if they're doing it right, if they're doing it wrong. They're happy to do it and they put everything into it. That is really unique, especially in the hip-hop community. Because as I travel the world, there are differences. Of course, there are different cultures, different colors, different languages. But one thing that holds everyone together is the passion for dance. And that is definitely present here in Nepal. From a developmental perspective, I think that there is some work that needs to be done from the foundation point of view. The identification of the different styles, because we have to look at it holistically. Hip-hop is, in terms of the dance, is a unique style all by itself. We now have a new concept called the hip-hop umbrella. The hip-hop umbrella encompasses several different styles, and identification of those styles and understanding the foundation of those styles and the levels, because each style has basic movements, intermediate movements, advanced movements. So understanding the different levels that are built within each style is also very, very important when you go to the world stage. So helping to identify those styles, identify the different levels and the foundation is the next step for the dancers of Nepal. The passion is absolutely there, and with that passion they can achieve anything. So from a developmental perspective, I would think, as Anup suggested and as I highly recommend, that we have workshops. You notice I said we and not he or I, because we really haven't been here for the past week. I've really forged a good relationship with Anup, and it's cemented in my mind and in HHI's mind that he is really the best person for Nepal in terms of representing HHI. So what we are planning to do is, within this year, we are going to have some Urban Moves workshop. Urban Move is one of the partners of HHI. It's actually created by HHI. And what we do is we have workshops around the world, and we identify the weak areas, the strong areas, and the areas in between.
Okay.
And we bring people in that will help to fulfill the needs in those specific areas. So we are planning to have some workshops that will help to advance the standard of dance here, and we are not doing it all in a vacuum. We interact with the dancers, find out what do they need, what do they want, what do they like, and we try to provide and fulfill those needs. So definitely the passion is the same. Definitely here in Nepal you have it. The foundation needs a little bit of work in terms of identification of the different styles and the difficulty levels and all of those styles, but definitely Anup has the right idea in terms of bringing in all of these international choreographers and dancers and so on to help build and help all of these dancers achieve the level that they need to achieve to represent Nepal at the highest level.
Okay, on that good note, break ma jane bela bhaisageko cha. So here we'll take a short commercial break. You guys keep tuning to Times FM 90.6.
Hip hop basement 90.6. Hip hop basement 90.6.
This is for
Okay, welcome back after that first commercial break. You are still tuning to Times FM 90.6 MHz and Times FM 90.6 MHz मा चाहिँ अघि 3 बजेदेखि तपाईलाई साथ दिइरहेकी छु म निता हिप हप बेसमेन्ट को साथमा र हिप हप बेसमेन्ट मा चाहिँ as a guest of honor Ian Levia, technical director of HHI Hip Hop International and founder of HHIN Hip Hop International Nepal Anup Saxena ji हुनुहुन्छ. We're talking about हिजोको event, हिजोको एकदम grand event, the dance competition. एकदम रमाइलो भयो. I witnessed the first ever international level dance championship in Nepal. So thank you for giving me the opportunity.
It's our pleasure. Like, you carried on very well.
Okay, thank you. And yes, Ian, I really want to know about your journey on hip hop. Like who inspired you to dance? But I am very disappointed.
Why is that?
Yeah, it's been like 4 or 5 days. We are seeing each other. We are meeting each other, but
I think I know where you're going with this.
This is a FM TV bago, but it's definitely more Ian like request garte. This is not a television. It's been like 4 or 5 days, and we have anudale no boy Ian dance kornu bako. Ian's dance move. Did you got to witness Ian's dancing?
Like live?
Yeah. No, here in Nepal.
No, I don't know.
Yesterday, why wasn't there judges showcase? That was my question.
Okay, yesterday we had Jada, who is very famous, one of the most famous hip hop dancers and international choreographers in the world, and Ki, who has worked with Michael Jackson in many different levels. And there's no doubt about what they have been able to achieve in terms of their dance background. You could Google them and you will see so much material on them out there. But Hip Hop International has a different approach because we try not to let the judges showcase at events.
Okay.
We have seen a lot of different competitions and events, and we look at how are we being different, because we're really different in a lot of ways. And for us, the judges are highly trained, highly respected, and they come from a very strong dance background. 'Cause that's very, very important. If you're going to judge something, you have to know a lot about it. But when it comes to showcasing, we are not about making the judge the center of attention.
Okay.
For us, the dancers are the most important thing, the most important element in everything that we do, not the judges. So we are there to do a specific job. We don't try to steal the spotlight. We don't try to get in people's head as, wow, look, they can really dance and this and this and this and that. No, we keep the spotlight on the dancers.
Okay. After hip hop basement, you're gonna show me your moves.
if I'll teach you a move first, and
Okay.
then if you do it, then I'll show you.
Okay, done. Okay, so here let's take another short commercial break. Break पछाडि Ian and अनुपजीलाई साथ दिनको लागि अर्को एकजना गेस्ट आइसक्नु भएको छ. So till then you stay tuned to Times FM 90.6.
Hip hop basement 90.6. Hip hop basement 90.6.
Okay, welcome back after that second commercial break. You are still tuning to Times FM 90.6. Ani Hip Hop Basement is the show. Times FM 90.6 MHz ma आइरहेको र अघि मैले भनेको थिएँ अर्को एकजना साथी आइसक्नु भएको छ. She is Nita and she is representing NHF. Okay, we have talked about HHIN and HHI and their collaboration, and now NHF and HHIN ko collaboration. Who wanna answer?
Who, me?
Yeah, you go first. I'll add on.
Okay. So हाम्रो collaboration चाहिँ main के थियो नि तपाईको like since I was into the pageantry part, so there was a Nepali Hiphop Foundation. So मलाई चाहिँ हामीलाई काम गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ मेन इम्पोर्टेन्ट के भने रिलेटेड कल्चरसँग रिलेटेड को टचमा छ मेन कुरा. अनि टेक्निकली चाहिँ हामीलाई आइडिया नभएको भएर हामीले चाहिँ कसलाई क्यारी गर्ने भन्ने कुरा आउँदाखेरि नेपाली हिपहप फाउन्डेसन थियो जुन चाहिँ हामीले चाहिँ कोअर्डिनेटेड बाई लाइक जो टेक्निकल पार्टहरू र सडन हामीलाई थाहा नभएको चिजहरू उहाँले क्यारी गरिदिने भन्ने कुराले हामीले चाहिँ त्यसरी कोलाबोरेट गरेको हो.
Okay, you want to add up some?
That's basically how we start working. So यसै उहाँ जसरी आउनुभयो लाइक उहाँलाई जस्तो कल्चरलाई रिप्रेजेन्ट गर्ने कोही चाहे थियो. सो सिन्स यु नो what NHF is been doing so far, so त्यही कारणले हाम्रो लागि पनि this for NHF also is a राम्रो अपर्च्युनिटी थियो किनकि this is about the whole hip hop culture and the whole like huge एउटा community को बारेमा भएको भएर it was a good thing for us too. So त्यही भएर जसै उहाँले भन्नुभयो that's how we started coordinated. We started like throwing out the posters and calling out all the people from around the Nepal. Yeah.
Okay. काम भयो एकदम शॉर्ट स्पैन अफ टाइम मा चाहिँ यो एकदम ठुलो इभेन्ट चाहिँ अर्गनाइज भएको हैन. कतिको रश भयो NHF लाई
अलि धेरै नै रश भयो हैन किनकि डेफिनेटली 1 month जस्तो मात्रै टाइम त्यो अनु सर आउनु भएको टाइममा. सो उहाँले भन्नु हुँदा नै ओके सो चाँडै गर्नुपर्ने भइसकेको थियो हामीलाई. रस त रसमै थियो but still we did it.
And yes, the event was a grand event. Ekdam yeah, congratulations to us.
Yay! Let's hear.
Okay, so talking about HHIN ko next plans or future plans के छन्?
अब HHIN को जसरी अघि यान सरले भन्नुभयो.
You talk about the workshop
urban moves like within like अहिले नि मैले मेन्सन मन्थ चाहिँ म मेन्सन गर्दैन. माइट बी मेन्सनिङ आफ्टर 2 weeks or a month. सो फर्स्ट हाम्रो प्लानिङ भनेकै तपाईँको चाहिँ अर्बन मुभ्स अनि पछि आएर चाहिँ क्लास जुन चाहिँ स्कुल आफ्टर स्कुल क्लासको चाहिँ प्लानिङ भइरहेछ र एचएचआईले चाहिँ तपाईँको पुरा एचएचआईले चाहिँ पुरा तपाईँको सपोर्ट गरिरहेछ हामीलाई हैन. जसको आधारमा चाहिँ डेफिनेटली विल बी स्टार्टिङ आफ्टर स्कुल एन्ड दि अर्बन मुभ्स विदिन 2016 आज मे भयो. सो लाइक अर्को 6-7 महिना छ विल बी क्यारिङ इन.
ओके, सो अर्बन मुभ्समा नै बेसी फोकस्ड हुनुहुन्छ
अहिलेलाई चाहिँ किनभने थाहा नभएको चिज मैले भने तपाईँको थाहा नभएको चिजलाई मलाई भित्राउनु चाहिँ लाइक आई एम भेरी इन्ट्रेस्टेड. आई डु इट नट फर मी, आई डु इट फर नेपाल होइन. किनभने तपाईँले हेर्नुहोस् मेरो ब्याकमा पनि इन फ्युचर पास्टमा हेर्नुभयो भने पनि मैले आफ्नो लागि होइन कसैलाई बाहिर रिप्रेजेन्ट गराइरहेको छु. र यो पनि अब तपाईँको हिपहप इन्टरनेसनलमा पनि मैले जसरी वर्कसपमा जुन चाहिँ वर्कसपले के दियो भन्ने कुरा चाहिँ कतिजनाले मिस गर्यो किनभने त्यो क्राइटेरिया डिडक्सन कसरी हुन्छ भन्ने कुराहरू थाहा थिएन. र जतिजनाले अटेन्ड गरे वर्कसप उहाँले बुझ्नुभयो तर नबुझेको मान्छेलाई एकदम प्रब्लम भयो. सो लाइक दिस इज द बेसिक पार्ट हामी कुनै चिज अगाडि बढ्नुभन्दा अगाडि चाहिँ हामीलाई के भने वी शुड नो द बेसमेन्ट विदाउट बेस इज युजलेस सो लाइक फर्स्ट इज द नलेज सो इफ वी नलेज इफ वी हेभ द नलेज देन मुभमेन्ट इज नथिङ आई डु अग्री विथ द्याट सो दिस इज हाउ
ओके मैले धेरै कुरा सुनिरहेको छु नेपालमा यस्तो खालको इन्टरनेसनल च्याम्पियनसिप भएको थिएन पहिला होइन अब यही इयर फेरि कहिलेकाहीँ त हुँदैन बी गर्ल्स ब्रेकिङ यो ब्रेकिङ रिलेटेड अथवा बी बोय डान्स बी गर्लिङ रिलेटेड यस्तो इभेन्ट्सहरू हुँदैन यही वर्ष मात्रै इट्स लाइक बी बोय वर्ल्ड एसिया हुँदैछ R16 हुँदैछ भर्खर मात्रै हिजोको इभेन्ट भयो होइन सो हाउ डु यु फिल यो चाहिँ NHF-लाई
Okay, so how do you feel when it feels really good? I know धेरै राम्रो इभेन्टहरु आइरहेछ तर R16 चाहिँ बिन नेपाल फर पास्ट 3 years त्यो चाहिँ भइरहेकै थियो हैन बट
लास्ट इयर
लाइक इन्टरनेसनली चाहिँ लास्ट इयर इन्टरनेसनल चाहिँ लास्ट इयर मात्र गएको थियो सो लाइक होल नेपालको सिनेरियोलाई हेरेर भन्ने हो भने अहिले जुन कम्पिटिसनहरुको लेभल अप भइरहेछ नि एकदमै राम्रो भइरहेछ कि किनकि धेरै ठाउँबाट जो अब डान्स नगर्नेहरुले पनि हैन अब सुनेर अब देखेर लाइक ब्याक टु ब्याक भएकोले उनीहरुको लागि धेरै राम्रो अपर्च्युनिटिजहरु भएको छ के सो यो अल कम्पिटिसन्स राइजिङ अप लाइक रियली गुड राम्रो सीन हो अहिले चाहिँ we're growing up भन्ने एउटा सीन हो
Okay, yes, we are definitely growing up. So here we'll take another short commercial break. You guys keep tuning to Times FM 90.6.
Hip-hop basement 90.6 Hip-hop basement 90.6
This is for
Okay, we're done with last and final commercial break. You guys are still tuning to Times FM 90.6. Last and commercial break भने बित्तिकै चाहिँ के थाहा हुन्छ भने हामीसँग एकदमै लिमिटेड टाइम छ र कुरा गर्न चाहिँ यति धेरै बाँकी छ. So back to Ian. I guess you're bored now because I was talking with Anupji and Janisa before the break.
Let's get this straight. I met you the first day I arrived here.
Yes.
And I've never been bored since.
Oh.
So I'm in your company right now. There's no way I could be bored.
ध्यान दिएर सुन्नुस्. Okay. So yes, Ian. So what are your future plans?
My specific future plans is I am heading out to Israel next month, and we are going to be doing some work in terms of the development of the community there. And then I'll be heading to China for their world first hip-hop championships. Right now they've been, well, like Nepal, China became our representative for the first year this year. And you know, China is very large, and they had 4 regional competitions leading up to the finals. So the finals is going to be on the 3rd of July, and I'm going to be there to make sure everything goes smoothly, knowing that they're having it for the first time. And then after that, I'm going to be taking a break and getting ready. If you could call it taking a break, that is. Getting ready for the World Championships in August.
Okay, so 2 more hotels.
Yes, 2 more hotels, several flights, several layovers, plain food. So, you know, it's the life.
Okay, and yes, he is very happy with his life.
I am, you know, I know that I've really been blessed, and I thank God for everything that I've been able to achieve. And there's nothing that I really dreamt of that I wanted to do that I wasn't able to. So I really feel blessed because of that, and being able to travel, see the world, meet people like you and Janisa, you know, it's an amazing life, and I have to give God all the glory and all the thanks for it. I couldn't ask for a better outcome.
Okay, we only have 8 minutes left now, so I really want to know, maybe our listeners want to know, how do you jump into hip-hop, who inspires you, and then the hip-hop journey till HHI. So yeah, people want to know.
Sure, they want to know that story.
Yeah, it's this time it's like my 3rd time I'm hearing it.
Okay, my inspiration came from television, believe it or not. Back in the day when American's Top 10 was on air with Casey Kasem. and every Saturday morning, as a young boy, I had chores.
You're still
to do.
young.
Yes, of course. Still. I had chores to do like anybody else. So we would get up very early and make sure all the chores were done. Because when America's Top 10 with Casey Kasem came on, you wanted to be sitting in front of the television just looking. And then you would see Michael Jackson. He was my main inspiration into dance. To see him move, to see his creativity, his music videos were just so different from everybody else's. He was a main catapult for me getting in dance, because I would stand up in front of the TV and we would start dancing and trying the moves and so on. And it just led from that. It's a joy that I had, a passion that I had to really get involved in the community. And coming from Trinidad and Tobago, a very small country in the Caribbean, we have a very strong religious community. And for them, hip-hop was something sacrilegious. You couldn't do that. What is this? This is wrong. This is gangster. But for me, it wasn't, because I knew the joy that it brought. And then when I started communicating outside of Trinidad and Tobago, I realized that this was a huge, vibrant community and that people were doing very positive things. And then I started getting involved more and more with the dance, and I actually started teaching hip-hop in Trinidad. At that time, not a lot of people was interested in that, because we have our national dances and so on, and they felt like, oh, you're bringing this thing from overseas and we have our national dance, why don't you get involved? I said, it's not about separating them, it's about adding to what we already know and what we already do, because it's about evolution and it's about growth. Of course, not everybody saw it that way, but I continued, and one day, so the story begins, I get this call. One of my friends had a contact who is responsible for having a huge event in Brazil. The name of the event is ENAF, and believe it or not, ENAF takes place in Pocos de Caldas in Brazil, and it's in a small town, and that town is shut down. All the streets are shut down while they're having this 1 week event. They have over 5,000 people attending this event, so the community really benefits from it. So I was asked to teach this one class, this 45-minute class in this event. So I said, okay, great, okay. So they're going to bring me over, they're going to pay for my airfare. I said, no, hold on. Don't get too excited. We can't pay your airfare.
Okay.
We may be able to pay your accommodations, but we definitely will give you food. For me, I didn't care. It was an opportunity to step outside of my comfort zone, an opportunity to step outside of Trinidad and Tobago and do something that I loved. The biggest challenge I had at that point was, how do I tell my parents that I am being invited to go to Brazil, but they're not paying my airfare? Where am I getting this money from? So I went to them and I said, look, this is what's happening. I've been invited to go to Brazil, teach this one class for 45 minutes. Can I go? They asked me in all manner of ways how crazy I could be and how crazy do you think I am? But for them, it was about supporting whatever I wanted to do. My mom especially, she always would say, if you have to be a garbage man, be the best garbage man that you can be. Whatever you want to do, just be the best at it. And they know that I love dance, and dance was a passion for me. But there was a catch. If I wanted to do dance, I had to have good grades in school. I had to be always at a high level. So because I really wasn't interested in being at a high level, but I wanted to dance. And because I wanted to dance, I made sure that I was at a high level in school. So the two really connected well. Long story short, I was able to make it to Brazil because I begged everybody that I knew, all my family members, for money to buy the tickets. I made it to Brazil. I taught one hip-hop class in Brazil for 45 minutes. Saying that I taught for 45 minutes, for those who are in the industry, it would mean more to them because they'd realize that that's nothing. When they go, they teach 5-6 classes, 90 minutes each, and they're there for the week. But I'm coming in and I'm only teaching one 45-minute class. But for me, it was about seizing that opportunity. So I taught the class. I had over 300 persons in my class. It was unbelievable. I have never taught a class with people like that before. Never. My classes in Trinidad was like 25 people, 30 people, and so on. And here am I, 300 people in the class. Needless to say, my knees were shaking, my arms were shaking, everything was shaking. But when the music began, all of the shaking stopped, because there's something about music that just makes you feel relaxed, makes you feel comfortable, makes you feel at home. So I taught the class. At the end of the class, there was a guy from Spain. And he came up to me and he said, look, I saw what you did, I saw the class, I loved what you did. I have an event in Spain. It's a huge dance competition and event and training. I have it every year. Would you be interested in participating? I said, me? I said, you referring to me? Are you talking to me? You're asking me if I will be interested? I said, absolutely. He said, look, we will give you 5 classes, each class 90 minutes. And we will pay your airfare. That was like manna from heaven at that point to hear that. We'll pay your airfare. We would pay your accommodations, your meals, and we will also pay you for teaching those classes. I did go to Spain the next year. I taught those classes, and in Spain there was someone from Italy who had similar events in their country, who invited me to come and teach in their country the following year. Next year I was in Spain. Whilst I was in Spain, there was a woman from Belgium who had a similar event in her country. And she was like, I saw what you did. It's amazing. Can you come and teach in my country, in my workshops? I said, absolutely. Are you kidding me? So the next year I was teaching in Belgium, and that led to me teaching all over Europe. It was an amazing journey from my little country in Trinidad to teaching in all of these major cities all over Europe. And then Howard Schwartz, who is the president and co-founder, Karen and Howard Schwartz, they are the co-founders of Hiphop International. I knew him from before, and he called me and he said, look, I'm interested in having this event. I know you're teaching in Europe. I know what you've been doing. What do you think? This is the idea that I have, and so on. Now, he was already far ahead in his planning, because he knew what he wanted to do. He just wanted to get feedback from the people who he felt had some kind of connection with the community and so on. So I said, this is an amazing idea. This is an amazing concept. This would definitely work. And the idea is a lot of people would be educated, especially in Europe, because hip-hop being the creation of the US, a lot of people were getting the wrong information. The further away you were from the States, the more incorrect the information was. So it would be a good opportunity to get the knowledge all over the world. But he said, look, I don't just want to have an event. I want this event to be the Olympics of every event. I want the judging system to be Olympic standard. I want everything to be at the highest possible level. At that point, I was completely sold. I said, absolutely, this is a great idea. I want to be on board with this. Let's do this. And this was in early 2000. And in 2002, we had the first World Hip Hop Dance Championships in Miami. So at that point, it was about trying to understand who would attend, what would be the direction that the organization would be taking. And Howard and Karen are both visionaries. And for them, they thought that it was very, very important to have the pioneers, the people who created the different dance styles, the people who was responsible for empowering and developing the hip-hop community, be part of Hip Hop International. And today, I can say without a shadow of a doubt, we have, as part of Hip Hop International, all of the original pioneers who are alive. And a lot of them are still alive, by the way. So when we have our event, dancers who come from all over the world get an opportunity to sit with the person who created locking, the person who created popping. All of these pioneers, they sit with them and they have conversations about the different styles. How was it created? Why was it created? So it's an amazing experience that takes place. So for me, it was a journey from a very small country with a huge opportunity. So for me at this point, because I have achieved so much and gained so much, it's about me now, together with Karen and Howard and the whole concept of Hip Hop International, providing opportunities for others. Because I know what a little opportunity can do. But people have to remember, even when it's small, you gotta grab it. You gotta hold on to it. Because a little seed grows into a big tree. and that's my story basically.
Okay, so कतिजना साथीहरु सुनिराख्नु भएको छ ब्रेकिङमा इन्ट्रेस्टेड होला. So yes, इयान जीको स्टोरीबाट इन्स्पायर भइसक्नु भयो होला. अब चाहिँ मैले पनि टाढा बाबा भन्ने बेला भइसकेको छ. But जानु भन्दा अगाडि इयान, you want to say something inspirational to our listeners who are into hip hop?
Definitely. But you know me, and since I've been here, I've been talking about it. Keep cooking the way you're cooking. I love your food.
Okay.
That's the first thing. But other than that is, whatever your dreams are, whatever your goals are, believe in yourself. There are always going to be people who don't believe in you, and there are people who are going to support you. But sometimes that support is only when you are below them. Sometimes when people are supporting you and you start getting better than they might be, there sometimes some problems can come in. So don't rely on people. If they're supporting you, be grateful. But don't let your dreams and your goals be focused on someone else's opinion of you. You believe in yourself. Go out, do what needs to be done to achieve it, and you will achieve it. Nothing is impossible. And I've seen the dancers here in Nepal. Your passion is amazing. With your passion and with your belief and your dedication to what you want to achieve, you can achieve anything. Go out there, get it. It's yours. It's out there, claim it.
Okay, thank you Ian, thank you Anupji, thank you Zenisa for dropping down here in basement. So next week aru kunai guest ko sathma ma pakai pani tapaharu samu aउने नै छु. Till then you stay safe. This is Nita signing out. Bye bye.